G'day YouTube, my name's Lance. Welcome to Bundy Bear's Shed. Well, the weather report, it's bloody cold. 10 degrees this morning, I reckon it felt like 7. Yeah, it was bloody, it was bloody chilly for us fellas up here. It'll be 24 through the day. I'll just close that spanner drawer here. It's just annoying me looking down at it. Little things. Yeah, quite chilly, and we're near the coast, so out west, you know, going to Kangaroo and all that, she'll be a little bit cooler, I'd imagine. But yeah, it's going to be a lovely day, sunny day, full sunshine, so won't be bad. You might notice my throat's a bit croaky, bit dicky. Late last week, Jude was on child-minding duties for young Freya. Yeah, she had got a bit of a cough, and so they just weren't allowed to send her to daycare. So it's Grandma, can you hop in and fit the shift? So yeah, Jude did that. Then she took Freya in. She got her immunisations. She was good to go with that on Friday, and then they come round for dinner Friday night to our place, and yeah, she was a little bit out of sorts, but yeah, kids get like that when they have their immunisations. So. But anyway, she's had a bit of a cold and cough and sort of thing, so I'm not sure, I haven't got a touch of that. We went away to a tractor show on Saturday. Look, it was a great show. Yeah, good, well attended by the public and well attended by our club members. We had a great show, and I did take the camera for a walk around the engines and tractors, just a quick walk. I didn't go too far. Oh, my bloody knee playing up like buggery again. I don't know whether it's the cold weather come in or I'm just being a wuss. But I didn't walk too far at the car show. I thought, oh no, not for me. I'll just hang tight. But I think what might fire it up was I hooked the trailer onto the back of the tractor. I made an adapter, and then I put the club engine on the trailer, and I drove the tractor to the show. But I think all the hopping up and down off the trailer, you know, hooking up ratchet straps to tie it down and all that, I think that might stir it up. And yeah, it's been it's been giving me cardio. We got home from the show Saturday afternoon, and mid-afternoon, and we just sat and had a couple of beers and a yarn. But yeah, I could start just after that evening. I could just feel my throat getting a bit tickly, and I thought, oh, sometimes those shows I don't drink enough, and you know, I get a bit dried out and the throat gets a bit dry, and no shortage of talking. So anyway, I thought, oh, that's not too bad. Then yesterday it wasn't bad, and today it's just a bit croaky. I don't feel crook, nothing like that. It's just yeah, my throat's a bit dry, a bit raspy. So yeah, we'll see what happens there. But look, it was great. I put the little DJI camera with the 3-footed monster mount on the bonnet of the 135 when we drove to the show. I have no idea what the footage is like. I'm hoping to have an extra video in the stew today on, and I just sat it up the front of the bonnet. You can see a little bit of the bonnet, then whatever come my way on the way to the show, you'll see. So, but look, the tractor run well. Yeah, going up, coming along the road, we have to turn right to go up to where the show is, and I have to turn right. There's a little traffic island there. Then up there's a steep little pinch, and yeah, she really started barking going up there, and black smoke and all that, and she really knuckled in and pulled away. And I thought, well, that's just ideal for this little tractor. I've just been videoing this tractor this morning before the stew. Oh, there's a lot of things to tell you. I went to, the other day I did the stew, then I went and hopped on the mower, and unbeknownst to me, I did all the mowing with my microphone on. And so I got up to the house and got my shirt off to go for a shower, and there's this bloody microphone. So it sat up there. I thought, I'll take that up the back and put it on the charger. Well, of course that didn't happen all week. This morning I went to do the stew. Microphone's dead flat because Lance hadn't got round to bloody doing it. So I do have another one. Like, this is it's there's 2 microphones go with that one setup. So I'm just checking that the lights are all working. And so yeah, if I've got my mate here and we want to have a chat, we can have a microphone each, and that'll go onto the sound recording sort of thing. So so I'm using the spare at the moment, and I was keeping it fully charged, but the one that puts the sound into the camera on the top, it's about 3/4 charged. So if we don't flap my gums too much, I think we'll get through. We'll see how we go. I've been taking videos of the 135. On the 135, there's been a little fuel leak, and I've known it's there, but I can sit it up the back here. It will not put a puddle on the floor. It won't get any down the side. Then another day, I'll go past and there'll be a little bit of diesel there, and I'll run my fingers up and I'll try and work out where it comes from. And yeah, it's only been very, very minor. And so anyway, at the show on the weekend, I was loading up, and my mate Ray, he said, "Oh," I said, "you notice you got fuel leaking out of your tractor?" And I said, "Oh, there's been a bit of a leak coming and going." But he said, "Oh," he said, "it was dripped on the ground." And I said, "Oh shit, that's worse than it had been in the past." So so I had a look, and yeah, it has got worse, which is good. I might be able to find it. So I got the camera out this morning before the stew, and I've done a couple of little clips on the leak, and now I've got the bonnet off the tractor, and that'll all be at the end of the stew. You know, I'll just pop in the little videos, and but I'm going to take it outside, give it a good degrease, wash off. I've been using the brake cleaner, CRC brake clean, and it's been getting a lot of the stain off. I can rub it with a rag, but it dries very quickly. So I'll try, I'm going to, CRC have got a degreaser. I'll try and show you. No, it's over the other side there. It's like a kerosene-based degreaser, and sometimes they seem to get the stains off better than the other, but I think where it was coming from was the big nuts on top of the injectors. Like, you have your little return lines on there, and I'd nipped them up a few times, but I've loosened all them off this morning, and I've done the nuts up on the main injectors, the big nuts, the 1-inch spanner fits, and the 2 front ones, they come up a lot. So I imagine over the time they've got a bit loose. But yeah, by getting the bonnet off and hopping in under there looking for the leak, it's probably been leaking a little bit longer than I'd realised, because it's got that diesel stain on things. So so I've knocked a bit of paint off doing things, but I do have a little touch-up gun. So once I'm sure I'm onto it, I have to have that tractor up in Billawheeler in July for the Queensland Heritage Rally. I told Chris, the president of the Harry Fergie Tractor Club, I'd take that up for him so he can do a few runs around, little tractor runs, we can share it sort of thing. And then August 24, we're doing a camp out tractor trek up Mullet Creek, which is sort of halfway between Agnes Water and Bundaberg, I'd say, up north. So it's a camping one. Yeah, Robbie, Nicole that works for us in there, her dad, they've got a lot of land up that way, and yeah, they've got a place where we can camp on the Littlebella Creek, and camp on the creek, then we can do a run up through Winfield to the camping areas and have a cup of tea and come back and round and camp right on the creek again. So yeah, if you're out of town, you've got insurance and you want to come, hit us up. Yeah, more the merrier. I think it'll just be turn up, camp Friday night, go for a tractor run Saturday, camp again Saturday night, back at the camp, and Sunday just do a little short run, I think, then pack up and come home. So it's not a big do. But look, it'll be fun. Yeah, it won't be bad at all. On the at the tractor show the other day, I took the club engine, and it was the first outing for the club engine. The club engine went well. Look, you just start the bloody thing up and just give her a squirt now and then, and it just goes and goes and goes. So I think in general they were happy with it. Yeah, it looks nice. They run well. That's all we need to do there, I believe. one of the fellas watches the stew a bit, Peter. He said he may have a little tin funnel that we can put in the box. I found a smaller plastic one this morning, so we'll see. So we're looking for a little oil can. I thought I had one, but anyway, you know, thought. And I've been using a little plastic one, and that's been doing the job okay. But yeah, we're sitting talking to in our little tractor tent there, talking to the Kemp boys, and we're talking about putting axles on and off. And I said, "Oh, have you made up a little bracket for it?" And they said, "Oh no, they just wrap a sling around." So I just thought I'd show them. That's a little bracket that I've made, and those two holes go where the mudguard goes on your axle, and that there is a top bit. So if you want a straight pull, you just hook the hook in here. But if you want to do it with the brakes on and brakes off and things like that, we have all these holes here, and that's just changes the balance point for you. So you can actually find a place where they've got the same gantry as I've got apparently here. Electric winch, posh, just bloody, yeah, I got the manual one, you know, the click one, because I'm a poor old fella, yeah. So that's the bracket we've made. This also fits on the top of a gearbox. Yeah, if you've got the gearbox cover off, you can lift it up and cart it around like that. It fits a couple of bolts on a diff housing, these holes here. So, but anyway, that's what I was talking about when we were at the show the other day, just a little offset bracket. It seems to do the job nicely for what I need. Most of the 35 T20, 65 and all that, all the mudguard holes are the same, so it does that. It got the final drives off the 65 here, no worries too, that same bracket, so we'll see how we go. But yeah, I find it handy. This piece here, I had to add because something on the 65 I was lifting and this started to bend a little bit here. I was out here and it started to bend a little bit, so we put that bar in just because it was there and it was starting to bend, so piss poor design really. But anyway, see how we go. Myself and Alan and Robbie have been putting a lot of work into getting this rally we want going. We spoke to quite a few people. Alan spoke to more than I did, but the fellas we spoke to in the rally ground, you know, members, they're all in favour of it. Yeah, like Barry and Robin, they said, look, they're in favour of having a rally, but they can't do much. They're waiting on knee surgeries and things like that. And that's fine, that's all we need. Yeah, if they can turn up and bring a couple of engines and sit in the chair in the shade and socialise, that's all we need. No trouble filling the paddock up. Yeah, there's a family, you know, Darren and his family in town here. They've got like a couple of hundred tractors. They've got a huge collection of cars, tractors, memorabilia, and talking to Darren, he said, oh yeah, it sounds great, he'll support it. He'll bring he'll bring a heap of stuff in, no worries at all. So that's good. Yeah, young Tim Preeby, he brought a couple of bulldogs into the show and brought his big water truck in, and I think it's positive. I'm still having trouble talking to Nev, the president, about it. I rang him Saturday evening and said, look, you know, we had a good show today. Any chance you can come in on Tuesday into my office and have a chat about it? You know, let's get it organised and, you know, get what's going on. I said, we've got a lot of support there. I said, you wouldn't believe the money that's becoming available to us from businesses and all that. But he said, oh, I don't know if I'm right for Tuesday, so I'll have to look in my diary. I'm out with my family at the moment. I can't talk. I haven't heard back, so I must have caught him at a bad time. But yeah, he didn't know on his diary if he was free Tuesday for a chat or not, so I don't know. He's retired. So we'd like to sort that out. Like I was saying, the grounds are $1,000, $1,089 or something like that. Queensland Tractor Spares and Ma and Pa, the trustee for the museum up at Mullet Creek, we're going halves in paying for that, so the club hasn't got to do that. We went to Shannon's the other day. Shannon's, if you're ever having a car rally or a tractor show or something like that, go and talk to your local Shannon's bloke. And if he can put up a little tent at your show, they always chip in. You know, in the past, we've had $500 from them. I don't know if that's a thing, but Alan went and saw him, saw Alan, the other Alan, and they've been mates for years. Like the Shannon's bloke used to run Repco in town here, and he's talking about the show, and he says, I suppose you want some money. And Alan said, well, that would be good. So I'll probably see Shannon's this next week or so. I got an online quote for insuring the 135 with full comprehensive insurance, and the online quote was $160 for 12 months. That's affordable. Like, it's cheaper than the registration. The registration's 215 or 20 or a little over 200 anyway. So for full comprehensive insurance, if something goes wrong, I think it's well worth it. Seeing that's going to be that. Well, that is my tractor tractor, which we're going to try and get out of the shed and off the place a bit. We'll see. But I look around, I've got so many bloody jobs to do, and we'll just see how we go. On the bench here, can you see that? Yep. I've cleaned up the pump as best I could. It's still filthy, but I've cleaned up the injection pump off the 434. I've got the bracket here. I'll be filming that later today when my microphones stay charged. We'll be filming that later today, the stripping down of it and cleaning and all that. In between, sorting out the fuel leak on the 135. I think I'm on top of the leak on the 135, but after I've done the stew here, I'll open the doors and I'll give it a run up and see if I can find what's going on there. But I think I'm onto it, but I would like to touch the paint up. Since I put that 13-inch bonnet on, it's a bastard to get on. You undo the bolts, and I remember putting it on there and I was trying to loosen the dash and bring everything up and forward and getting the sides back down far enough and all that. And with the 14-inch grill, it just fitted a bit better. But the 13-inch one's the right one for it, and it looks good and it does fit okay. But the bolts, and I remember back when I was doing it up, it had been hit hard. The bonnet and all, it had a tree drop over it at some stage, and all the brackets on the side were bent. So I've straightened them and buggered round, got it all lined up, and you can get the bolts in, but it's a fiddle. So the bonnet's not going back on until it's right. But yeah, it's just everything sort of feels sprung. On the 3 bolts down the side, it all feels a bit sprung. But once you get it hooked up and done, it's okay. It doesn't squeak, doesn't rattle anything, but it's just something's not 100% there. I just got to see if I can straighten it a bit further or something. But you can get it in. But yeah, there's 3 bolts there, and you've got to get an O-ring pick or something in there, or a little pry bar in, and really put some pressure on it to get the top bolt. Then fiddle around. It's bloody painful. But anyway, it would have been easy if they had these fellas like the others. You could just tip the bonnet up out of the way, but you've got to undo the bonnet at the front there and slide it out and forward and up and back. And anyway, that's progress. That's how they did it. But anyway, we'll see. The other thing, I adjusted the brake pedals up on it and towing the. I used my fancy lights, my Bluetooth lights, and I've adjusted the pedals so when you go hooking down the road and you have your pedals locked together and you hit it hard, I can skid both wheels. But when you're trying to just slow up, you just want to slow up to go around a corner or something like that, the left-hand brake has got this squawk in it. I don't know, the right-hand one is quiet as a mouse. They're both the same linings. They're the soft linings that we can't buy anymore. I'm sure they're new drums, soft linings. I can't work out why that's noisy. When I had the gold tractor, it had the same setup, exact same setup. It was quiet as a mouse, no worries at all. You could just hit the brakes and go. But on the left-hand rear, or left-hand brake on the 135, it's just bloody noisy. I haven't quite got in my head why it would be noisy, unless it's the shoes chattering on the drum or something like that. But I may try and adjust the shoes in really tight to the shoe, adjust the shoes to the drum really tight and then try it, then just back it off a little bit and see if there's a happy spot where we're getting a different contact area there. I don't know whether it's not enough contact area. It's just at the front, when you, well, actually when you pull the brake on, the wheel's going this way, that expands at the front. So if it's going that way, this one would be your trailing shoe and this one would be your leading shoe, I imagine. So I'm wondering there's a leading shoe down there just touching on the front edge or something like that, I don't know. Works fine, locks up, it's safe and all that, but it's bloody noisy. But anyway, I'll have to sort that out as well, all these little problems. I've only done 8 hours since I've done the tractor up, and it must have been done up for a few years now. And anyway, I'm always fiddling with it, but I thought I had it finished until this fuel leak, and it got a bit wilder on the weekend. So now I'll have to fix it. I'll have to touch up the paint and get that all ready to go. So that's about it for the stew. At the end there'll probably be a part 2 with just the drive in, or I don't know what that footage is like, and the walk around the show. The end of the stew will probably have the 135, the little videos for that, on what I'm up to with that, and I'll let you know over the next week or two how it all goes, so we'll see. So I better get to it. I've got a pile of shit to do. You have a day off, and actually the shed's looking pretty tidy. I've been trying to come up and sweep and tidy things up, and that's what I've got to show you. While I'm having show and tell, these little Renegade boxes, they're a good thing. That's how the new test light kit and all the leads and that worked out. All in one little box. Got the leads, got the charging cable for the meter. So that's done. That'll keep that nice and tidy. I can just grab the red pot here and go, and I'm right. They have these on special from time to time. If you wait, you have them on special, and I think you get $40 off a big one and a little one or something like that. So I've got a few spares. I bought extras, and I haven't got them all full yet. So which is good. So you have a brain wave, and then you got a pot to do it. You haven't got to wait. So, but look, that's it. Thanks for dropping by. I think most of the video will be on on that 135 today. When my microphones are all charged up, we're going to start doing this. So there'll be a video on the 434 coming out, on the 434 injection pump. We've never done an international harvester injection pump on the channel. We've done the others and they're all the same pretty well, but anyway, it's just a different audience, so we'll do that and see how we go. But have a good week, everyone. Stay tuned. I'll show you what the fuel leak's about. We'll catch you next week, eh? See ya. And we're at the front of the shed now, and you can see I've slashed the whole paddock. I've done all the rider mowing, slashed the paddock. The sun's not even up yet. You can see it's a little bit dark. The sun will come up through there. But yeah, I've got the whole place. Once the camera sorts out, I've got the whole place mowed and tidied up. And with this little cold snap, there's still some sticks we have to pick up from when we cleared the fence line over that direction. But all in all, the place is looking nice. With the cold weather coming now, the 9 and 10 degrees, that will probably slow up the mowing from now on. So yeah, I probably shouldn't have to spend so much time on the mower, which in summer it's a weekly event. It's just backed off a little bit lately. There's a tree. We had it very windy the other night. I'll try and zoom in. And you can see it blew the half of a tea tree down. So I've got to go and clean that up now. Yeah, just yesterday morning I had a look and there's half a tree laying in the paddock, so that's an extra job I need to sort out. But yeah, all in all, the paddock's looking pretty good. So that'll get us through for a little while. So yeah, see how we go. Hopefully more shed time. See how I get on. Well, here we go. I've got everything all tidied up and washed up and packed up and I've got it all, the International Famous engine. That went really well over the weekend. Its first outing with the club. Yeah, look, that's all we could have expected. It was well received by the club. They were most people were happy with it. Yeah, so I don't know when it's going to have its next outing, but yeah, we'll see. Yeah, I actually hooked the trailer up behind the 135 here, and I took the whole lot up together. But there was a little fuel leak, and hang on a second, I'll go and get a light. Okay, I've got a light now, and we have a little fuel leak, and it comes and goes. Now, you can see there now. So it's getting worse, so that I might be able to find it. But I reckon there's a little stain there, but when I run my hand, I wonder it might be like a little injector line leak or something like that. So I might have to pull the bonnet off and see if I can get way up in under there. But it looks like that's where it's coming from, around an injector. So, but it's been something that's come and gone, and it's been a bit hard to find. But on the weekend, when I did it, it's the hardest the tractor's ever worked. I really knuckled into it with the trailer on, going up some of the hills, and you'll probably see in some of the video. So I think we should be able to sort all that out now, but it needs a wash. I'll have to lift the bonnet by the looks, and yeah, just see what's going on. Maybe pop the tank up and see. So as the morning's progressed, I haven't even done the stew yet, it's only 6:30, something like that. So I've got the bonnet off, I've got everything out to where I can see the fuel sender. There's just a little, just a slight little fuel stain there. I've tightened all that down. Now in here we'll get some light on the subject, and you can see it's been happening for a little while. It's got that diesel stain, but like I say, it was something that came and went, and I didn't spend much time on it. You can see the back injector there, where I've had a spanner on it in the past. But I'm thinking, because straight down, well, too many shadows with this bloody light, haven't I? Coming straight down here, it's probably that front one, because that's where the fuel is sitting. So there's a fair chance that it may have, maybe leaking from this one here and blowing back through. There's a little bit of diesel, down near that rubber, but it would have to be coming from up high here somewhere. So I can't even see if that's in focus, you know, I've got no idea. I should go and get my glasses, shouldn't I? But yeah, you can see there's a paint off the injector nut here, where I've loosened this off in the past. I've loosened these three off, and I thought it was coming out of that back one there. But anyway, we'll see. We'll get a bit of CRC brake cleaner. That'll clean that up nicely. And yeah, over the day, we'll give it a run. We'll let it sit. We'll give it a run and let it sit. At the show the other day, my mate Ray was telling me when we were packing up, he says, "Oh, your tractor's dripping diesel." I said, "Dripping?" Which is never done before. You know, sometimes I would find a little bit of diesel down lower, down around here sometime, and I'll just wipe it clean, but I couldn't actually see. If you look at that now, you can't actually get any diesel. Oh, there's a little bit coming down there. So it might be running down this little hump here maybe. Yeah, look at that. So there is something coming down there, so, and blowing back. All right, I'll fiddle along with this and I'll let you know what I find, eh? Okay, I'll tell you what we've been up to. I've loosened all these return lines off, and they were tight. This back one where it had a spanner on the cap on the injector, that was tight. These other ones, they came up quite a bit, so I'm going to give it a start shortly and just see. I think they would have stayed, you know, I've just nipped them up onto that copper washer sitting there, and yeah, I believe I haven't adjusted the pressure on the injectors by doing that, but they were actually fairly loose. And if you remember with these ones, these are a Bear Co injector, and they have a different size nut up the top there, but they run really well. Like for an aftermarket injector, there's nothing wrong, but I think I pulled them apart and washed them out and checked them and just made sure then pressure set them all before I put them in my tractor. And I may not have nipped them down as tight as I could have by the look of things. So anyway, we've done that. We've got the CRC brake cleaner. Now that's the stuff that's cleaned up a lot of the mess around the place, but it's been doing it for a bit longer than I realised because of the staining. That's what I'm thinking. So I do have a small spray gun. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to run this throughout the day on and off. You can see how hot I got it the other day, the going up the hill. Going up the hill towing the trailer, yeah, she had a full black pipe and she was working, and I thought, oh, you beauty, just what it needed. It had done too much idling around, really. So yeah, I'll work with this through the day. I'll start it, stop it, run it, and bug around with it, and pretend I know what I'm doing. And once I know I'm on top of the leak, I've got a small touch-up gun, so I think I'll get a bit of Stoneleigh grey. I'll mask this up. Might just put a little bit of pipe over that. Mask these up. Yeah, mask the hose up and just touch the paint up there where it's. If I bring where it's looking a bit shitty down the back there, a little bit of a stain. So once I know I'm all over it, I think we'll just pop a little bit of paint on there. I've only done about 7 hours since I've done the engine up. You can see it's got the painted. Whoop, God, I'm shit with the light today, aren't I? You can see it's got the painted oil filter on, so it hasn't had an engine oil change yet. So, and the fuel filters are the originals after the assembly as well. So I'll just pop up and have a look at the tacho. I've done 8.1 engine hours since we've worked on it, or since we've done the full restoration. So perhaps when it gets to 10 hours, we might shout at some brand new oil and a new oil change, and away we go. We do have, this is going up to Billawheeler for the Queensland Heritage Rally, so I need to have it like ready for that. And then August 24, we've got a tractor trek, and I don't want it leaking on a tractor trek, so we'll see how we go, eh? Okay, I've run it for 5 minutes or so. I've got it nice and hot, and we can still see there's a little bit of a shine on the injector there, on the rear injector. So it's a bit hot to get my hand in, but yeah, so it's not coming from up the top there at all, but it is down the bottom. You can see the shine. Well, there you go. That's got it. This nut here, it felt like it was going down tight, but I had to back him right off and reseat him back and forth on that copper washer a few times. But it looks to be all done. One of these little clamps, injector pipe clamps, had come loose and run down the pipe a little bit. It's only just happened, but they're a plasticky sort of thing. Bit of shit, really. But everything else is looking good there. A bit more to the story. I left the tractor before and come back, and I had this big puddle that I've just tidied up with an old bed sheet, and I have no oil, no fuel leaking up the top there. That's good. But out of the blue, the fuel tap started leaking. So I have no idea why. I had fiddled with it though. I had turned it a few times. So I've actually had that all the way out. I've put a new O-ring in it, and The old O-ring was quite soft, but it wasn't cut at all, and I've been sitting here going in one turn at a time and just letting it sit to see if there's a rough patch up in the housing here or something, but I've put a 90 Duro O-ring on there now, so I've drained most of the fuel out here, and it's dry as a whistle. There's just nothing. Well, there's a little bit on my finger there. But, yeah, I don't know why that leaked all of a sudden. It hasn't had a history of leaking. I was wondering about a bit of flake of paint or something like that up in there. But it appears, look at that there, it's just a little. Now and then it must have a little section where she just decides to have a little leak. It's not something that's done in the past that I've known of. I might have got lucky and just had it all the way open, and that was the end of the story. So we'll just open him all the way back. That's all the way out, and I'll go in, say, a couple of turns, and we'll let it sit there again and see. But it's just one of those things. You start things, yeah, you start buggering around with stuff, and sometimes it just doesn't quite go as planned. But yeah, that seems okay. But yeah, just out of the blue.